This is our first video in how to create your own yoga teacher training. First of all, before I begin, my name is Wendy and I have been teaching yoga and training yoga teachers for 2 decades. Most recently, I've created a company to help experienced yoga teachers and yoga studios to host their own yoga teacher training. All of this content is on our free course, which is on our website, aplusyoga.com. And I will put that in the comments below, as well as information on getting in touch with us if you have any questions. So the first thing to consider is your business ready for yoga teacher training? There are the 5 top things to consider. First one is, do you have qualified lead trainers? Do you plan to teach the course all on your own? Suppose you can't make it for a session, who would be your backup? More on that later on in this course. The lead teacher, according to Yoga Alliance, has to have the E-RYT 200 registered teacher designation. To qualify for that designation with Yoga Alliance, you need to have at least 1,000 hours of training post your own 200-hour or 2 years of teaching post your 200-hour. So question number 1, do you or the lead trainer that you've chosen already have your E-RYT 200 designation? Do you qualify? That's very important. 2 is supply and demand. Evaluate the demand for the training that you want to offer. Research is a must. Yes, demand for yoga teacher training is growing, but where does your training supply and meet the growing demand? Questions to consider. So this is almost like a parenthesis here. Yoga teacher training, 200-hour, you can cost or you can charge $2,500 and up. Destination trainings like in Bali or the West Indies could cost $10,000 and up. There is undeniable potential to increase the revenue of your business by tens of thousands of dollars. But let's come back to the concept of supply and demand. Before we get there, also remember that hybrid trainings, partially online and in person, are another option for you. So supply and demand. What questions do you need to ask about supply and demand? What kind of research do you need to do? So think about your area. Look at all of the trainings in your area within a certain radius. How much are they charging? How often do they offer teacher training programs? Can you have an idea of how many people are in each of their training programs? That will give you an idea of the demand in your area. Are you in an urban area? Are you in a remote area? Are you in an area where there are lots of people who enjoy yoga? Are you in an area where people are still learning what yoga is about? Do you already have a following? If you have a studio or you're an experienced teacher with online content, if you already have a following, have you gauged the demand of your people? Have you sent emails, messages, posts? Hey, I'm thinking of offering a 200-hour training. Are you interested? Or has someone already come up to you and said, I want to train with you, even before you made a post? All of these things will gauge the demand, and the supply, that depends on where you live. You will have to do a little bit of research in order for you to have a good measure of what's going on and how to price your own training. Third business consideration, your curriculum. Yoga Alliance requires that you design a 200-hour teacher training program that meets their required categories, including asana training, teaching methodology, anatomy, philosophy, and practicum, amongst others. They have rules like a maximum number of hours that can be spent on the business of yoga. There are time criteria for each section and evaluations, tests, quizzes, etc. In our experience, it takes hundreds of hours to develop a solid curriculum. Research, looking into things that are important to you, to write a manual for the trainer, to create workbooks for the students, to make tests and set up a system for evaluating your students. So this is business consideration. Where in your day can you carve out the time to do all of this, to start creating a curriculum? Keep in mind that A+ Yoga does have an accelerated accreditation program where we can help you get your own yoga teacher training up and running in a couple of weeks. And we would be there for you every step of the way. But let's go on. Let's continue the video, assuming that you're creating your training from scratch and you want to consider, these are the 5 business considerations to set up that training. The next business consideration is the location. So, and the syllabus, how you're going to teach it. Yoga Alliance will ask for a breakdown of the hours, and you need to consider where you're going to teach it and how you're going to teach the training. So for example, the simple way is to teach yoga teacher training 200-hour from beginning to end. Another option is to, which is also more financially accessible, is to offer the training in, for example, 3 modules. So this year we're going to do module 1 of the training, and if you join us next year, you can pay per module, right? That's another option. Are you renting a space? Is this a destination training? How long would each day be for the students? Are you partnering with another studio? Are you renting space? Those are business considerations. Yoga Alliance will ask the training hours, but as a business, you need to consider a lot more. For example, if you're using a partner space, so say you're partnering up, you're an experienced teacher and you're partnering up with a gym and you're paying rent to the gym, and they say, hey, why don't you offer yoga teacher training? And you're like, sure, but you are paying rent. So you say, okay, every trainee that your gym brings to my training, I will give your training X number of dollars, your gym X number of dollars. So these are all the things that you need to consider. And format matters as well. If you're doing it beginning to end, are you going to do full day sessions, half day sessions? Yoga Alliance will ask that. The other questions about location and rent, etc., schedule. If you have a studio, do you have time in the schedule? Where can you make time in the schedule? So Yoga Alliance will ask about the schedule, but beyond that, there are a lot of other questions that you need to ask and consider so that your business can keep on running while you're running yoga teacher training. The 4th business consideration So the fifth business consideration is standards and fees and all of that. So once you submit your curriculum to Yoga Alliance, they will review everything. Expect edits like adding hours or tweaking your syllabus, shifting hours around. There are also application fees to Yoga Alliance, and you must commit to their code of conduct, their ethical standards for teaching and promoting your program. Here's the catch. This process may take months. It depends on how close your training is to what Yoga Alliance expects. It also depends on how large their backlog is. Remember, this is a non-profit entity. Also, a reminder, bringing this up here, perfect place to bring it up. A+ Yoga has an accelerated accreditation program where we guarantee acceptance within a few weeks. So, with all that said, are you ready to launch your 200-hour training? Stay tuned for the next video, which will be focused on you. Are you personally ready to create and offer a 200-hour program? And reminder, A+ Yoga does have that accelerated accreditation program, which can help you along the way, and A+ Yoga can be with you every step of the way. If this video was useful to you, please hit the like button, feel free to drop a comment, and feel free to subscribe for the upcoming videos. See you next time.